All right. We are live. At least my laptop is telling me so. And yes, hello, Des. So, okay, we're on. Welcome everyone to another solo live stream. It's been a little while, and I'm glad to be back, frankly. I don't know. It feels like kind of a wintry kind of undertaking. Just gets dark early. Want to just snuggle in with your favorite solo RPG adventure and see how many different ways you can die. Because apparently that's what this is all about. So in the spirit of that, I figure why not go back to the source and play some Call of Cthulhu. Enough of this Dragon Warriors crap. If I want to die and go insane, as it says here, dying and going insane, that this is the game for it. So tonight we are playing Alone Against the Static, a solo 1990s adventure beyond signal range by Mr. B.W. Holland. Now, fair warning, caveat, if you will. I work for Chaosium. I have written for Call of Cthulhu in the past. I work with Mr. Holland on an almost daily basis. I know nothing about this adventure. I heard it's good and it sounds interesting and I want to try it out. So yeah, I'm going in just as ignorant as the rest of you good folks, unless you've played this, in which case no spoilers, please. I'm intrigued. I think it's an interesting setting. We're gonna be out in the wilderness. I don't know if the 1990s are germane to the adventure. Maybe it's just we don't want to have any smartphones or flying cars or anything like that. Maybe that could be the case. But anyway, we're gonna find out together. So let's get into it. That's right. Let's go. All right. So I want to read the foreword. I did read the introductory matter just to make sure I had everything I needed. So I'm going to read you all the foreword. I used to joke that I grew up in the woods from the Blair Witch Project. Our family home was locked in by state forest for 2 kilometers in every direction. Growing up in a place where the darkness was thick and the sounds beyond the walls of our house were often unidentifiable, I came to appreciate a level of horror that manifests in the wild places of the world that, to me, feels absent in cities populated by the human throng. I learned to savor the feeling of protection while inside a home in such locations, however false that safety actually was. It's a sensation of the walls of wood and mud brick somehow keeping the cold and the darkness at bay, even if the sound of something raking gently across your bedroom window was commonplace. Alone Against the Static is my attempt to view the quiet wild through the lens of the Cthulhu mythos. I wanted to give players a strong sense of place and isolation. Setting the scenario in the 1990s allowed me to showcase how Call of Cthulhu can flourish in all settings. The modern age opens new avenues of horror not available to the 1920s, such as creepy videotapes of unknown origin. It is my hope that both new and returning Call of Cthulhu players discover an aspect of horror that they may not have encountered before, and I especially hope they find inspiration with which to weave their own tales of mythos horror at the gaming table. And forgive me if my reading's a little rusty. It's been a little while. All right. So yes, it's giving Blair Witch. It gets called out in the foreword. All right. So yeah, we have the introduction here, and it just kind of takes you through setting up the basic premise that we are playing this with a single person, aka me, in which I am both the keeper and the player. Take on the role of either Alex or Charlie, a young couple who are vacationing at a secluded forest cabin in South Dakota's Black Hills. Well, that was their first mistake. The collapse of their relationship and a creeping horror growing in the woods around them are the central focus of the adventure. Chaosium recommends this book for mature players. The adventure is set during the 1990s. Unfortunately for you, it takes place far out of signal range. Don't rely on modern conveniences to protect you from danger. Deadly forces to whom a few decades mean nothing are lurking in the shadowy woods around you. You can attempt this adventure as many times as you like. Each playthrough allows you to select different choices or even a different character. So maybe we'll come back to this. Even if it's a cakewalk, maybe we'll do it again with a different character. So speaking of which, who should we play? That's our first question of the night. So we've got Alex and we've got Charlie. Now let's see here. Alex is a salesperson from Deadwood, residing in Pierre, South Dakota. Charlie is a nurse, born and living in Pierre. Let's see. Key differences. Looks like Alex is a little stronger. Charlie's a little more intelligent. Also more good looking, if that matters. Let's see here. Any other salient? Oh, Charlie doesn't know how to drive. That's interesting. He has good first aid. Alex is decent, but not as good. They both know intimidate. Different levels. They can both listen. They know a bit about the natural world. Both of them know how to navigate to some degree or another. Okay. Obviously, as a nurse, Charlie knows biology and chemistry and has a pretty good spot hidden. Let's see. They have equal brawl. Okay. And neither of them knows how to handle a firearm. Okay. And I think those are the key differences. So Alex has a bit of an edge on Charlie in terms of physical stats. Charlie's a little bit more knowledgeable and skilled, it would seem. All right. So Jen says Charlie is a nurse. Nurses kick unholy ass. All right. So is that a vote for Charlie? It sure sounds like it. Does anyone else have any strong opinions and feel like we should do Alex instead? Speak now or forever hold your peace. And I'll give folks a minute to weigh in while I look at the rest of their sheets. Let's see here. Charlie has been with Alex for almost 5 years. Their relationship has begun to feel very strained. Some time alone might help them patch things up, but honestly, it doesn't feel likely. Alex has been with Charlie for almost 5 years. Charlie seems less and less happy. Charlie's brother Mark recommended going to his vacation cabin for some time alone. Oh, it's Mark's cabin. Okay. It worked for Mark and his wife Julie. Maybe it will work for Alex and Charlie too. Alex is in sales. Yes, that is correct. Okay, so Charlie is forlorn and whimsical, believes in karmic justice. Significant people, Alex for better or for worse. Oof. Meaningful locations, a park bench across from Alex's old apartment where they first kissed. Treasured possessions, an inherited family engagement ring. Alex is a hopeless romantic, fiercely protective. Can be described as rugged or scruffy, depending on how charitable you're feeling. Alex only believes in what she can see. Significant people, Charlie, despite everything, also oof. Meaningful locations, the restaurant Charlie booked for their first date. Treasured possessions, a love letter written by Charlie. This has terrible hiking tragedy written all over it. Yes, it does. All right, so yeah, we've got 2 votes for nurse. Let's go with Charlie. We'll set Alex aside. There we are. Okay, we have a sheet to take notes here. The log sheet is something that the book, I don't know, not suggests, mandates. Basically, there will be certain entries. We had this in one of the Dragon Warriors solos I did last time. where we might have an entry that says mark close to hand or mark tech support, and then I just tick the box. And then maybe later in the scenario, it might say, if you have tech support ticked, turn to blah, blah, right? So, and then dying and going insane. Excuse me, let me take a sip of water here. Dying and going insane is just kind of reminding us how injury and sanity work in Call of Cthulhu, and then giving us a priority list. Prioritize resolving damage before sanity. Prioritize reaching 0 hit points over resolving a major wound. Prioritize reaching 0 sanity first, which basically cancels out indefinite insanity and or bout of madness. And if any of those things happen, there's different entries we go to. If we ever lose more than 5 sanity points in a single instance, mark down the passage you're in and go to 329, stuff like that. So, okay. All right, with all that out of the way, I'll set Charlie to the side there, move my drink so I don't spill it, and let's get into it. There are separate beginnings depending on which character you play. All right. Somewhere in the forgotten wilds, where pine needles carpet the forest floor, something stirs. Wind whips around the black hills to places where bears, rabbits, and birds never visit. The trees of the surrounding forest shiver. Beneath the moist earth, something wakes. Shifting from beneath the soil, it erupts in silence from the ground. Its emergence reverberates throughout the wild. Far off, a wolf howls in mourning for what will soon pass. It pulls itself from the darkness and breathes. It blinks. Take your chosen investigator sheet, roll 3d6, and multiply the result by 5 to determine luck score. All right, just have a single d6 here, so we're going to do it laboriously. That's a 9 and a 10, a nice average luck. So we'll put that in there. Luck 50. Okay. And we're beginning the adventure as Charlie, so we go to 2. All right. Buzz, Alex mutters absent-mindedly, opening and closing the car's electric window for the 10th time in 2 minutes. You grit your teeth. You only just got back on the road after your truck stop break, and Alex has already fiddled with every button within reach. You're left to steer the car and navigate using a ridiculously oversized map. Alex gets bored of the window, sighs, then turns to you. Can you just let me hold the map? No, I can do this just fine, you reply. The two of you already missed one turnoff this trip because Alex lost track of your route. It's far better for you to just take care of everything. It is late afternoon on a rural back road deep within the Black Hills. The sun is high, but the air is cold. Tall pine trees and rolling valleys stretch as far as you can see in every direction. Crisp autumn air drifts in through Alex's open window. Then you hear an electronic buzz for a moment. Suddenly, it appears again, on and off, on and off. You bite your tongue and keep silent. Alex turns on the radio. You hear a harsh screech of static as they start scanning through different frequencies. This is all pointless. You're way out of signal range. The only song you can pick up is a heavily distorted Neil Diamond single. We're coming to America. All right, so to ask Alex to stop, go to 83. To just ignore the sound, go to 96. I'm the thing in the woods blinking. Nice. All right, so I won't leave every choice up to the peanut gallery here, but I'm inclined to ask Alex to stop. I mean, this sounds supremely annoying, but if anyone thinks otherwise, let me know. And I have no idea how much of a delay here there is, but I'll give it a few seconds just to give folks a chance to weigh in. One thing I really like about the formatting of this book, you'll see it says start down there in parentheses. That means that we came here from start. And you can see that every entry gives you the possible entries that you would have come from to get to that entry. So as a longtime fan of these sort of choose your own adventure type books. That's very handy because it's very easy to get lost. What's the choice? Ask Alex to stop or ignore the sound. Jen is voting for stop. All right. Yeah, we're going to go with stop. All right. Go to 83. Please. You reach over and turn the radio off. I can't think with that noise. Alex raises up their hands defensively. Sorry, they mutter, then turn back to the window. You look back to the road. In your peripheral vision, you notice Alex shoot an irritated glance your way. The longer this trip lasts, the tenser the atmosphere in the car seems to get. It's the next left, you say, and try to smile reassuringly. Alex doesn't answer. You continue deeper into the forest. The little road you're on winds erratically, dipping up and down as it weaves between hills. The sky gets lost in the branches of pine trees. As the evening shadows lengthen, you feel cold seeping in from outside. The sun gradually sets. Your car's headlights cut into the darkness, revealing the road ahead, just a few feet at a time. Finally, they drift over the front of a cabin, reflecting off two windows on either side of a front door, glaring back at you like watchful eyes. You pull up and park. Finally, Alex sighs, stepping out onto the gravel driveway. You haul yourself out of the seat, stretch your back, and walk around to the trunk to get your bags. It's cold here. The cold night air seizes around you like a vice. You weren't expecting it to be this chilly. Are you hungry? Alex asks while you try to keep from shivering. Make a con roll. If you fail, check touched by cold on the log sheet. Uh-oh. I'm sure that won't come back to bite me. All right. My con is a 70. And I roll a 0-3. I think that's a 0. Yes, that is a 0. I rolled a 0-3. All right. Fancy Cthulhu dice. You can't even read them. All right. So I don't have to check off touched by cold. Nice. Okay. To say you are hungry, go to 105. To say you aren't, go to 111. I think I'm hungry. It's cold. My metabolism's working overtime. Please, burgers? Alex smiles. Sure. You drag the bags to the cabin and unlock the door. You stick one hand inside, feel for the light switch, then flick it on. Alex peeks inside and nods approvingly. Wow, super cozy. Your life and mission end here. Oh, no, wait. We're fine. All right. The cabin isn't very big. Your brother Mark, who owns the place, really exaggerated how luxurious it was. There's only one main room with a double bed, a chest of drawers, and a corner set up to serve as a kitchen. There's no microwave. Both the oven and stove use gas. You see two doors, one leading to the rear of the cabin, while another leads to a tiny bathroom. You just know it's going to be freezing in there. On the wall opposite the bed is a TV and VCR unit sitting on top of a cupboard. The whole cabin is lit by muted yellow bulbs. It's not dark, but it's not quite light either. The sight of the bathroom reminds you that you've just spent several hours driving. You excuse yourself and dart inside. While you're washing your hands, you catch sight of yourself in the mirror. There are bags under your eyes. You stop and sigh. A weekend getaway. Is this really going to solve all of your and Alex's problems? To feel confident about the weekend, go to 124. To doubt this vacation will fix your relationship, go to 126. Ooh, I gotta get some commentary on this one. What do y'all think? Do I feel confident about the weekend, or do I doubt the vacation will do any good for the relationship? I could really go either way on this one. I don't know. Actually, that's not true. I mean, I'd be inclined to feel doubtful from my cynical middle-aged point of view, but these are young characters. Perhaps optimism will win out. Yes, it could help in a midsummer kind of way. All right. Yes. Okay. So we're all saying we doubt. We are doubtful. We have doubt. All right. Here we go. This cabin sucks. Mark always seems so excited when he talks about it, but really it's kind of a dump. Maybe it feels nicer when you're visiting with somebody you love. Ouch. You and Alex haven't been that close in months. This is just one more failed attempt at reconciliation that you can add to the pile. At least you can look back on it as proof you really tried fixing things before the inevitable implosion. You stay in the bathroom for a while, glumly staring into the mirror. Minutes crawl past. You don't want to go back out there and face Alex. While you stand waiting, you notice the bathroom door creak open just a little. Seems like the latch is old. You lean forward and quickly pull the door shut. When you lock it, it stays in place. Eventually, you admit you can't hide away in the bathroom any longer, so force yourself to walk back out of the bathroom with a fake smile plastered across your face. Whew, sorry. I've been holding on to that one since we left Pierre. Alex doesn't look up. They just roll their eyes. They're standing in the kitchen now, chopping up vegetables. You cross over to the bed and lie down on it. All your muscles ache from the long drive. They don't feel better when you stretch. Alex says nothing. You want to talk to them, but can't think of anything to say. What was it that Dr. O'Brien said the two of you should do if you were feeling distant? You can't remember. Soon, Alex serves up dinner. The two of you huddle at the small kitchen table and eat. Alex remains silent. It's difficult to tell what they're thinking. Check occupied on the log sheet. All right. Checking occupied. There we go. Make a psychology roll to gauge how Alex is feeling. My psychology is a 60, of course. Pretty good at reading people. The eye bags say no, absolutely. Wow, a 0.8. These dice are on fire. All right. So I succeeded at the roll, obviously. Go to 127. Alex is confused. That's the only time they're ever so quiet. Or they ever go quiet, excuse me. You watch them pick at their food half-heartedly. They're probably turning things over in their head, just like you are. As much as you want to blurt out questions, to talk things through, you force yourself to keep silent. Alex doesn't like that kind of direct conversation. If you start asking questions, you'll probably just annoy them. The best thing you can do is just relax. Focus on doing the things you enjoy as a couple. It will remind them of how good things can be. That's the best way forward. Okay. Hey, do you want to watch a movie? You ask. Alex hesitates. The two of you used to fall asleep to movies almost every single night when you were first dating. Alex chews the idea over for a moment, then nods. Sure. You take the dishes over to the sink and wash them up while Alex brushes their hair. When you're done, you head over to the TV unit. It's a relatively cheap model from the late 80s sitting on top of a dusty VCR player. You switch both on, then open a cabinet beneath looking for videos. Mark sure likes scary movies, you say, looking over the titles. 15 different tapes, and you're sure that covers pretty much every major slasher film of the last decade. God, none of these look good. There aren't any comedies? Alex asked from the bathroom. Make a spot hidden roll. And I have a spot hidden of 65. Okay, this is getting weird. I just rolled a 0.2. I am rolling on camera. So, you know. Yeah, sadly, we don't seem to have a differentiation between hard and extreme successes. So, oh well. A commentary on modern horror. That's right. I mean, it's modern in the sense that this is set in the 90s, so modern for then. All right, so I made the roll. Let's go. Maybe I spot Friday the 13th, part 5. That's a good one. That's a good horror comedy. As you're leafing through the tapes, you notice something at the back of the cabinet. You reach inside and pull it out. It's an empty slipcase for a VHS tape. It's flimsy. Someone has scrawled a title on it in black marker pen. The Flowers in the Stream. You incredulously read the name aloud. The Flowers in the Stream? What's that? Alex asks, coming out of the bathroom. Empty case. We should have stopped at a video store. I think these are all bootlegs. Alex walks over to you. They're smiling. Maybe they did some soul searching in the bathroom too. Is the tape still in the VCR? They ask. You lean over and press the eject button. There is a whirring of mechanical internals, then the unit spits out a tape. Aha, Alex says, stepping forward to pull you into a hug. Thank you, Charlie, they say. They rest their head on your shoulder for a second while you stand there holding the tape, sighing. I love you. Check or tick the flowers in the stream on the log sheet. Okay. Here we go. So far we have occupied and the flowers in the stream. Okay. To respond lovingly, go to 135. To change the subject, go to 137. Oh boy. I mean, me personally, I'm tempted to respond lovingly, even though maybe I don't really mean it. You know, we're here to patch things up. Yeah, I love a good log sheet. That's right. Oh, this is a good one too. This is a good log sheet. Yeah, I don't know. Alex is trying, so I should probably try too. So let's respond lovingly. You smile at Alex before replying, "I love you too." The two of you stay quiet for a moment afterwards and enjoy the silence. Then you bustle over to the VCR and get everything ready. Before long, the two of you are set up in bed looking towards the TV with the tape paused and ready to go. Ready to start? You ask Alex. They nod. Lights, camera, action. All right. This can only end well. When the film begins, the screen is black. There is faint music, but no opening credits. Then, the screen cuts to blurry footage that was clearly recorded on a handheld camera. Wow, is this one of Mark's home movies, you ask? Alex laughs and reaches for the remote. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a second, that looks familiar, you say, pointing at the TV. Alex hesitates. On screen, you see a wall of tall forest trees. Leaves and pine needles crunch under the feet of whoever's filming. The camera pans around the landscape, creating a blur of greens and browns. Suddenly, you spot Mark's cabin. Standing alone in this little clearing, a dull red sedan is parked out front. That's Julie's car, Alex says. This must have been after their wedding. The camera is shaky. Wind rushes against the microphone, causing a brief flurry of horrid scraping from the speakers. There's movement near the red car. A woman, Julie, is taking bags from the trunk. She is smiling. Yeah, Alex says. This must be at least 5-6 years ago. Julie turns as the cabin door opens. Mark steps out, walks over, and takes one of the bags from her. They smile and exchange unheard words. You sit bolt upright. What the hell? What's wrong? It's only Mark. Yeah, but who's filming? Alex stammers and blinks. On the screen, Mark and Julie go inside and close the door behind them. The camera zooms in toward the window. The picture is a grainy blur of colors. You see movement in the cabin. The camera zooms even closer. Then, harsh wind picks up and howls through the speakers. The image smashes to a slurry of loud static. White noise booms out into the room. The sound drills into your skull. You feel like it's going to make your head explode. Make a note of this entry number. You may need to return to it. All right. Entry number 145. Make a sanity roll. All right, I have 60 sanity. 95, there we go. Now the balance is being restored. If you fail, lose 1 sanity and check unsettled on the log sheet. Okay, so I'm at 59 sanity and I am unsettled. To cover your ears, go to 154 to scramble for the dial and turn it down. I think that's what we'll do. All right. Okay, very nearly a fumble. Yeah, again, I don't know if that would really have any bearing. You dart from bed, grimacing at the ear-splitting noise. You switch the dial and kill the TV. Alex is sitting on the bed with their hands clamped over their ears like a dope. Sorry, it's only a remote for the VCR. There's no volume control. What the hell was that? You ask angrily. Alex shrugs. I don't know. Mark and Julie came out here with someone else? Alex laughs. I don't really want to think about what your brother and his wife might get up to when they're out here. You roll your eyes. That was creepy. It was like a peeping Tom. Well, we know it's not. Alex gestures to the TV cabinet. Why would Mark and Julie have the tape? All right, so we have not checked Broken Heart on the log sheet. Good. So I can either get frustrated with Alex or stay calm. I think now it's time to stay calm. I mean, it's a fair point, you know. Let's not go nuts. You shake your head and take a deep breath. You're right, it's stupid. Let's just forget about whatever the hell that was. You still want to watch a movie? Alex asks. Sure, whatever is fine. One of these schlocky flicks, you say. Alex gets up. My pick? Your pick. Alex smiles and looks over the tapes in the cabinet. Ooh, this is a good one. No doubt Friday the 13th, part 4. You lean forward to look at a tape that has a guy wearing a pumpkin on his head on the cover. Oh, actually, that is a good one. I think even you'll like it, babe. Somehow I doubt it. You smile. No, seriously, Alex says and slips the tape from the case. It's about this guy who's a writer and he drives up to this secluded town in Maine, right? Alex hits eject on the VCR. And anyway, when the TV set blares to life, it bellows static through the cabin. Thunderous scraping and coughing bounces off the walls. You thrash and cover your ears. Alex is swearing, but you can barely hear it. The TV falls silent, and with it, all lights in the cabin go dark. The power is out. What's my dream? A cabinet full of Friday the 13th movies on tape? You may be right. Alex? You ask in the darkness. Yeah? What was that? I think the power's out. You hear scrambling in the darkness as Alex shuffles along the floor, one hand touching the wall. They flick the light switch several times. I thought this place was on solar power. That's what they said. Maybe something is broken. Do you think there's a backup? No idea. I guess we'll need to go into town tomorrow and call Mark to ask him. Great. You press your fists against your brow. That's just great. Your heart is still racing after that last burst of noise. You take your hands away from your face, but it doesn't get any lighter. It's pitch black in the cabin. You feel anxiety start to build in your chest. All right, again, we have not ticked off broken heart or blame game. All right. So I can lean on Alex for support or give up and go to sleep. What do we think? Oh, cabin writing is my dream. Yes, that's true, actually. Okay. Lean on Alex for support or give up and go to sleep. What do we think? He thrusts his fist against the post and still insists he sees the ghosts. Nice. That's poetry, that is. All right. Amidst the mists. Yes. Oh my God. Are we having like a spontaneous poetry session? And cruelest frosts. Yes, go on. Go on. That's all you got. Okay. All right. What do we think? What do we think? Are we leaning on Alex for support or giving up and going to sleep? Lean on Alex. All right. Let's do it. That was really loud, you say. You can hear a waver in your voice. Alex clearly does too. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. You hear approaching footsteps, then the bed frame creaks as Alex crawls onto it. In the silence following the outburst from the TV, even the slightest sound rings deafeningly loud in the quiet. You feel Alex cuddle up close to you. I'm sorry, Alex says. Don't be. Don't worry about the TV. We'll fix it tomorrow. If not, we can just go hiking instead. You murmur softly in agreement. Alex wraps an arm around you. You feel their breathing on the back of your neck. It slows quickly and fades into a gentle rumble of sleep. The sound is steady and calming. Before long, you drift off too. The only sound that disturbs you is the faint creaking of pines echoing softly through the Black Hills. Very nice. It's a vocal warm-up. Okay. Yeah, I know there's a delay. I don't know how much of a delay, but there is a delay. When you wake in the morning, you are alone. You stir in the bed and sit up. Babe? There's no answer. The only sound in the wind is the wind outside, carrying with it a gentle morning bird song. You get up and cross to the kitchen. There's a note taped to the chunky refrigerator, which is written in familiar handwriting. Sorry again, just want this weekend to be special. Gone to town to get help fixing power. Back ASAP, love you. You set the note down. Looks like you have a few hours to yourself. So I can eat some breakfast or go for a brisk walk. Oh, we're eating breakfast, baby. You scrounge up some bacon and eggs. The spit and splutter of cooking fat fills the kitchen. The leaden quiet out here is unsettling. More than once, you make to turn the radio on before remembering it won't work with the power out. You poke at your eggs idly with a spatula and slowly run your eyes across the room. They land on the dormant television set. Your heartbeat quickens. You frown. It's embarrassing how much that stupid videotape affected you. You roll your eyes and turn off the gas. You eat your hearty breakfast in silence. Once you're done and have washed the dishes, you realize you've got nothing else to do, so decide to go for a walk. I have to say, Charlie's very responsible. He's always washing up. All right, I can leave right away or wait a few minutes in case my partner returns. Well, they said they'd be back in a few hours, so I doubt it took me a few hours to make breakfast. We shall head out. Okay. Yes, I've been abandoned. Exactly. Outside, the air is fresh, the sun is warm, and the sky is mostly clear. You fill your lungs with the scent of moist soil and pine trees. You take a few steps forward and peer down the driveway. It weaves away into the woods. The trees are so thick here that you'd probably have a better chance listening out for cars than looking for them. You turn and head down a walking trail just by the cabin. The earth has been worn smooth by the hiking shoes of innumerable visiting families. Okay, so I can choose to get slowly excited about this vacation or grow even more anxious. We're getting excited, man. We're going to try and make the best of this. We're going to get into it. We're out in the cheap showiness of nature. We're going to do what we can. The nature surrounding you eats away at the stress layered into your being. You feel yourself truly smile for the first time in weeks. It happens without any effort on your part. It feels good. You close your eyes and turn your face to the sky. The fresh air and sunlight kiss your skin. It's glorious. Off to the left, you hear running water. You open your eyes and look towards the source of the sound. It's coming from just off the trail you've been walking along. Okay, so we can investigate the sound. Not a good idea. Or stick to the trail. Good idea. I mean, look, I've never been hiking in such thick foliage myself. I've gone for hikes in the wilderness. Not really. I've gone for hikes in parks and sort of places that are maintained by people like park rangers and that sort of thing. I've never gone for a hike in the backcountry, so to speak. But my understanding is you really don't want to, leave the trail. What's the sound? Live a little. The sound is of a stream. So, all right, I'm going to go investigate the sound. You step off the trail and stride through the forest towards the sound of running water. The ground is uneven, so you steady yourself on the trunks of nearby pines as you go. You walk for a little while until the sound of the water gets louder. You crest a small ridge and discover a bubbling stream just on the other side. The water is rushing downhill fast, headed south. It's clear and fresh. The trickling sound is melodic. Okay, so here we have ticked the flowers in the stream. This place reminds you of something. Yeah, I left the trail, Jen. Sorry. You flinch. The black marker label on the videotape that played just before the TV blew up jumps to your mind. The flowers in the stream. Looking at the stream, the flowers at its bank and the leaves drifting down on its current, the memory of screeching static rings in your ears. You lift your eyes from the water and look around you. There's nothing unusual here. Just the trail at your back and lonely pines all along the length of the water. You are alone. It's time to keep walking. Okay, good. Got back to the trail, I guess. You refocus your mind and head determinedly down the trail, farther down the black hills and deeper into the forest. It's a pleasant hike. Sunlight filters through the pine branches and casts up dancing shadows all about you in the cool morning air. After a half hour or so, you feel nature calling and step behind a tree to pee. You are fumbling with your clothes when you spot something ahead. Ahead, off the trail and nestled in a narrow valley, is a dilapidated wooden shed. Oh, baby. Pay dirt. All right. Well, hey, I left the trail, so I'm already obviously feeling fairly reckless. I think it's time to investigate this dilapidated wooden shed. So let's go. You step through the small clearing where the shed leans lopsided against a rocky, moss-ridden mountain wall. It's not large, maybe half the size of Mark and Julie's cabin. It's made entirely of wood. A rotting piece of pine serves as a makeshift door that's only just still hanging from the frame. The place looks like nobody has been here in years. You step closer to the shed and put your hand against the door. It swings in slowly and easily. The shed is dark inside. You see the faint shadowy blotches of furniture hidden in the gloom. Okay, I have not checked off nyctophobe, thank God. I don't even know what that is. All right, let's step inside. The only light in the shed comes... Oh, that's probably fear of the dark. Okay. The only light in the shed comes from the open door and a few cracks in the uneven weatherboard walls. There's no windows. It's like this place was designed to be gloomy. You see a small workbench, a wall-mounted cupboard, and a stack of cardboard boxes. The rest... Oh boy, that's savory. The rest of the furniture is mildewy and unremarkable. The floorboards creak beneath you as you walk across the room. Depending on your choices, you may return to this entry several times. Select an option you have not already chosen. Oh, okay. So I'm going to make a note of that. Entry number 57, and then we'll note which choice we take. To search the cupboard, to look over the bench, to rifle through the boxes, to leave the shed. Okay. Oh, it's a murder shed, baby. That's right. In the woods, I would investigate the dilapidated shed. You personally, Kenny. Okay, so, I mean, who among us, really? All right, I am intrigued by those boxes. The boxes are wet and caked with mildew, of course they are. You open the flaps of the topmost box. The cloying smell of rot hits your nostrils as soon as you touch it. Inside is a pile of black clothing. You pull the first article out. The smell gets worse. The clothing is all long and hooded, and each is about the size of a bed sheet. Oh, God. This looks like something somebody would wear in one of Mark's stupid slasher films. Okay, keep searching through the boxes. Don't mind if I do. You move the topmost box aside and open the next one down. This one has been more successfully protected from the elements. Inside is a collection of dirty glass jars, a long dagger in a leather sheath, and a handheld camcorder. Depending on your choices, you may return to this entry several times. All right, so I should have noted I went to number 65 from 57, and now we've got entry number 66. Okay, if it's the first time you read this entry, if unsettled is checked on the log sheet, go to 67. Okay. You blink as you look at the camcorder. For a moment, your ears fill with a high-pitched howl of crunching static, the same sound that played last night. You raise your hands towards your ears, but as quick as the sound began, it's gone again. You step away from the boxes. You're not sure if you can stomach going through them. Make a note of this entry number. You may need to return to it. All right, 67. Make a POW roll. All righty. POW of 60. 65. All right, I'm going to spend 5 luck and make that roll. If you succeed, you steady yourself and focus. Go back to 66. Okay. Just a cool ritual storage area. Yes, that's right. Satan is good. Satan is our pal, etc. Would and have investigated the dilapidated shed. Good for you. Good for you. That's the kind of initiative I admire. All right, so we can look at the jars, we can pick up the dagger, we can examine the camcorder, or we can leave the boxes alone. I mean, obviously the camcorder. The chunky handheld recording device makes you shiver. Was this what filmed that video you watched last night? The device is maybe 4 or 5 years old, but it's decayed significantly. It must have been left here to rot right while it was brand new. To press the buttons to see if the camcorder works, well, of course I will. You press all the buttons on the camcorder, but nothing happens. The battery is almost certainly dead. You can feel something rattling around inside, probably another tape. The eject button is jammed, though. Check tech support on the log sheet. All right. There we go. If toolkit is checked, it is not, sadly. You remember a useful item might help, otherwise go back to 66. Okay. I'm curious about these piss jars. You pick up one of the jars. Each contains a viscous black substance. The stench of urine, ha, I knew it, is immediate and overpowering. You set the jar back down. Disgusting. All right, that just leaves the dagger. The dagger is bigger than it first looked. The blade is about the length of your forearm. Yikes. You remove the leather sheath and look at the glistening steel. You see your reflection shadowed in the gloomy half-light staring back at you. The weight of the dagger feels good in your hand. You feel an urge to take it along with you. To take the dagger, check razor sharp on the log sheet and make an occult roll. Yeah, absolutely. I will follow these strange, intrusive thoughts. All right, make an occult roll. I have an occult of 5, everybody. Oh, now I could really use some of those rolls I was making earlier. Let's see. No, I got excited for a second. All right, that is a 30. 30. I would have to spend 25 of my 45 luck to make that. I will not do that. It's Bigfoot piss. Nice. Oh, God. Okay. Here we go. 365, I think, is where I need to go. Nope, 362. Okay. 362. Boop, boop, boo. Oh, there's additional resources in the back. Nice, nice. Okay. You see your distorted reflection in the dagger's blade. It makes you think about funhouse mirrors, like the ones at the tourist beach town you visited as a kid. You never liked it there. All right. Back to 66, and we have done everything we can in that entry. So we will leave the boxes alone. Go back to 57. All right, we can search the cupboard, look over the bench, or leave the shed. I think we'll go to the cupboard next. The cupboard hangs precariously from the dilapidated wall. It has a stressful forward tilt gripped by gravity. You see a few rusted nails securing it in place. You carefully open the doors. Within are 2 little shelves, both lined with videotapes. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Okay. They're home tapes, like the ones Mark had, with white stickers on the front marked with black Sharpies. The tapes are all caked with moss and spider webs. Make a spot hidden roll. Search through the tapes. Made it. All right. Go to 59 right there. You notice an empty space in the row of tapes where one is missing. You reach out and take the tape next to it. It is a little less damaged than the rest. Maybe it will still work. The black marker title reads, "The Quiet in the Evening." You take the tape and tuck it away. All the videos have weird names. You note a few. The sun with the trees, hoping it erupts, the way she moves in the night, and the cry of the children. You narrow your eyes, anxiety rising, and gently close the cupboard door. Check "The Quiet in the Evening" on the log sheet. Okay, back to 57. All right, well, might as well look over the bench before we go fleeing. The bench is laden with a collection of tools. None have been touched in years. They are covered in greasy dust. You see a dull gray hammer. Perhaps it could be useful. There's also what looks like a specialized miniature screwdriver set. I'll check out the screwdriver set. You take the case and open it. It's full of tiny drivers. The heads are bizarre and strange shapes. Your mind whirls. What wondrous secret purpose must these tools be for? What tiny instrument were they complicit in the functioning of? What strange mystery have you stumbled upon? Your mind races as you consider the possibilities. Seriously, though, it's just a set of tiny screwdrivers. You have no idea what they're for. Check toolkit on the log sheet. We can go back and fuck around with the camcorder. All right. If tech support is checked on the log sheet, you suddenly realize the screwdriver set's purpose. It is. Wait, this isn't mysterious at all. These tools are probably for the camcorder. Yes. You head back over to the boxes, grab the camcorder, and get your tools ready. You try to dismantle the whole chassis to get the tape out. Make a mechanical repair roll. Oh, God. I'm sure I'm really good at that. Yeah, 10%. 62. All right, I can push the roll. I can push the roll. Yeah, it's for eyeglasses, exactly. Some shubnanigans happening in these woods. Boo. Boo. All right, so, yeah, he's an amateur filmmaker. Big whoop. All right, so I need to decide whether or not to push the roll. So for those unfamiliar with this mechanic in Call of Cthulhu, this is a mechanic where if I fail a roll, I can try again. I'm literally in the fiction trying again to succeed in some manner, which will be explained to me, I suppose. And it says at the risk of damaging myself and the tape in this instance. So there's always a greater penalty for failure if I fail a pushed roll. And again, I have a 10%. I have a 10%, but Salt and Peppa say, push it. Okay. I cannot use luck on a pushed roll, unfortunately. So it really is just down to whether or not I roll a 10 or less, and I feel like I've used up all of my 0.8s and 0.5s for the evening, but why the hell not? Why the hell not? I want to find out what's in this freaking camcorder, man. Let's go. A 19. Oh, that hurts. Oh, if only that had been my first roll, I could have spent 9 points of luck. All right. I failed the pushed roll, everybody. You fiddle with the screwdriver set for a while, but don't make any progress. You can't get purchase on the screws, and your hand keeps slipping. Eventually, you get frustrated. You shove the screwdriver into the jammed button with all your strength. The plastic chassis of the camcorder snaps open. The screwdriver crushes the cheap plastic of the tape and cuts straight through to the bottom of the recorder into the center of your palm. You drop the camcorder and stifle a howl, gripping your hand. The camcorder is ruined. The tape is ruined. Your hand is bleeding a lot. Make a note of this entry number. You may need to return to it. Okay. Take 1 damage. Absolutely. Check red-handed on the log sheet. Okay. There we go. Racking them up. Go back to 66. Okay. All right. Well, there was the hammer on the workbench, but that's fine. I'm getting out of here. I am leaving. Let's see here. Okay, leave the boxes alone. Go back to 57. Right. Okay, leave the shed. All right, let's get out of here. That's enough of that. You step out of the little shed and back into the forest. You wince in the harsh light of the sun and let your eyes adjust. You make your way back to the trail and continue your hike for about a half an hour. Then you turn and head back home. Yeah, personally, I would have just headed back straight away. You crest the rise that leads back to the cabin. The sun is high in the sky. It's late morning, soon to be afternoon. You sigh. There's no sign of the car, of course. Oh, God. And therefore, you're probably still without power or your partner for now. You head inside. Everything is well lit by the late morning glow. You change out of your walking clothes and leave them on the bed, then head into the bathroom to shower. Okay, occupied is... yes, it is ticked. Okay. You remember a minor detail and must go to 86. Okay. You close the... oh, that's right. You close the door behind you and turn on the shower faucet. Water cascades into the waiting tub below, filling the room with a constant loud drizzle that is almost reminiscent of white noise. The pressure is lousy without power to the pump, but gravity does most of the work. Thank God the water heater is gas-powered. You pause, remembering that the bathroom door doesn't keep itself shut. You push it closed harder and put the latch on to secure it in place. Obviously, Charlie does not have ADHD. You step into the shower and wash the morning hike away. To stay for a while and enjoy the soak, yes, I think that sounds good. The water is warm, cleansing, and healing. You love the feeling of it running over your skin. You swear the water even smells different to the water back in the city. Uh-oh. You stay in the shower until you've completely relaxed, ready to face the afternoon with a smile. Heal 1 hit point and restore 1d4 luck points. Yay! All right, sweet. All right, 1d4 luck points. 2. All right. We're up to 47 luck. All right, cool. Go to 92. You get out of the shower and dry off. You step back into the cabin and decide to get dressed. To put on jeans and a t-shirt, check practical on the log sheet. Or put on warm soft track pants and a sweater and check comfortable on the log sheet. All right, what should we do? I believe one must say She, after saying red-handed, as in, we got you red-handed, she. Oh my God. Hello, Santiago. All right, so what do we want to do? Do we want the practical t-shirt and jeans, or do we want to get comfy in warm, soft track pants and a sweater? Personally, after a nice shower like that, I would get comfy. But we are in a horror scenario and might want to be practical. So, what do folks think? I don't know. Sound off in the comments and let me know what you think. Practical or comfortable? I like the creepy image of the character in the shower there. That's nice. The shower, says the caption. Very nice. All right, we've got a vote for comfy. We've got 2 votes for comfy. All right, I'm a comfy little baby. Okay, that's true. All right, I'm checking comfortable. All right, I'm going to 93. Freshly dressed, you feel renewed. Now, what to do with the afternoon while you wait for your partner to return? Hopefully, they have a solution to the power problem. I can make some food. I can search for flashlights and batteries so I have a light for when it gets dark, or try and restore the power myself. Let's get the flashlights sorted first, then I can try and monkey around with the power with my 5% mechanical repair, or 10%, excuse me. Sorry, I was cutting myself short there. You know there was a heavy-duty flashlight in the car, but it's gone now. What do you have here in the cabin? Right now, when the sun goes down, you'll be left in the dark. Make a spot hidden roll. All right. Oh, there's that 6 that I needed earlier. God damn it. When I needed the least. All right. I made a spot hidden roll, everybody. I swear, I don't think I've ever rolled so many rolls under 10 as I have this night. This is great. What is this, number 5 or something? In the cupboard beneath the sink, you find a little plastic container with a mini flashlight in it. You switch it on. It works, but the beam is weak. The batteries are probably dying. You look for spares in the pantry, the bathroom, and in the bedside tables. Eventually, your gaze settles on the TV cabinet. You cross the cabin to the television and perch on your knees in front of it. You open the cabinet and scan over the videotapes. You move some of them aside to look deeper into the cabinet. In the dark, right at the back, you find a blister pack of batteries. They must be kept here for the remote control, but they fit the flashlight. Jackpot. You swap the batteries out. The beam becomes much stronger. Check fully charged on the log sheet. Don't mind if I do. If well fed is checked, it is not. So I must cook some food. You head to the kitchenette. You're glad the fridge and stove are powered by gas. You cook up a meal and then enjoy it alone at the little dining table. Now I can check well fed. Okay, cool. Well, Pam. If survivalist is checked, it is not. Okay. To eat and enjoy the food, go to 106 to pick up the plate unenthusiastically and worry about your situation. Yeah, I am worried. Let's be honest. I found a creepy murder shed out in the woods. My partner's been gone for like 5 hours. It's not good. The woods are lonely, dark, and deep. You're here alone in a cabin with no power, kidding yourself that everything will be fine. So long as the sun remains up, you're able to keep yourself fooled. But you know with every passing minute that the sun is edging closer to the horizon line, racing to leave you in the darkness. Make a note of this entry number. You may need to return to it later. Okay, number 107. I must make a sanity roll. Okay. 46. Made it. No sanity loss. Fully charged is checked. Good. I'm bored and must go to 108. I can't think of anything else to do. You can't think of anything else to do in the cabin, and restlessness is creeping in. For a while, you lie on the sofa and read an old beat-up paperback from a shelf in the corner. You think it's pretty good, but a little flowery and overwritten, not to mention how grating prose written in the second person can be. Oh, cell phone. Love it. All right. Listen, make a listen roll, it says. That is a 39 against 60. I succeeded. You hear footsteps outside. Oh, God. They crunch on the gravel driveway. You sit up. You didn't hear a car approach. You stand up nervously and creep across to the window. A balding, middle-aged man is standing just outside the front door. Oh, that's terrifying. No, seriously. He's dressed in a thick winter coat and has his hands in his pockets. You do not recognize him. He lifts his hand to the cabin door and knocks. I can pretend nobody's home and wait for the stranger to leave or answer the door. Oh my God. Alex took their chance when it appeared. Yeah, no kidding. Got the hell out. Footsteps. Yes. He's following in his grandfather's footsteps. I'm in the story. Yes, Kenny, you were in the story. Kenny has showed up at my doorstep. Well, then I'd answer the door. But I don't know. I feel like if I tried and pretend that I'm not home and he busts me, that would be like really embarrassing. So I should probably just answer the door. All right. You cross to the door and pull it open. Hello? The stranger looks you up and down, his face devoid of expression. Hello, he says. He isn't smiling. He looks past your shoulder into the cabin. Is Julie home? Julie? That's Mark's wife. Okay, so I can ask who the strange man is, or tell him Julie isn't here. Yeah, who the hell are you? Sorry, who are you? You ask. He ignores your question. Julie, is she home? Make a spot hidden roll. Creepy. Made it. Okay. You glance past the stranger to see a clearing behind him where your car was parked. The clearing that leads to the main road. It's empty. This guy must have walked to the cabin. Ay. I was killed at the risk of being embarrassed. That's right. All right. So, I mean, you know, it happens, as is the way of our people. Absolutely. Absolutely. Death before embarrassment is our personal motto. Okay. So, yes, I made the spot hidden roll. So now I'm going to 118. You don't know what to say next. Are you lost? You ask. Just looking for Julie, he replies. Can you tell me your name? He stares at you. You stare back. Sir? You ask. Is Julie home? He asks again. I can keep talking. I can ask the stranger to leave, or I can close the door on him. I think I'm going to keep talking because I want to tell him that she's not here. Do you live nearby? You ask. He shakes his head. Have you broken down or something? He shakes his head again. You start to feel nervous. This guy is seriously weird. I don't think I can help you. Yes, you can, he replies. How? You can tell me where Julie is. To ask how this guy knows Mark and Julie, go to 132. To tell him to leave, go to 117. All right, fine. Get out of here. The stranger gives you the creeps. He's placed awfully close to the door and is standing kind of funny. Sorry, you have to leave, you say. Why? Because this is private property. He stares at you without responding. He is silent for an uncomfortably long time. He isn't moving. Just go, you say. I don't want to have to call the police. You got a phone in there? He asks. You stay silent. You know you don't. You can try to reason with the stranger, scare him off, or just shut the door in his face. All right, so I can either try and intimidate him to scare him off. I have an intimidate of 45, or I can try to reason with him with a persuade roll, which is 50. So it's Julie's secret lover, absolutely. All right, so what do we think? Bye, Santi. Thanks for stopping by. I mean, I have a 5% greater chance of persuading him, as much as I want to try and get in the guy's face and tell him to slag off. But no, we'll go with persuade. We'll go with persuade. All right. You got a phone in there would make me throw up. Yeah, seriously. Creepy as hell. All right. So, right. Let's try and persuade him. 50% chance. Here we go. A 94, everybody. That is a 94. Oh, I could have also shut the door in his face. I don't think that would have worked. All right. I failed to persuade him. It would be like totally swell if you just got out of here, you say. Seriously. He blinks. Please? What time do you go to bed? He asks. Excuse me? I could come back then, he says. You stammer. Well, he asks. You feel a chill in your gut. His empty eyes continue to bore into you. Suddenly, without another word, he turns on his heel and walks away. You watch as he goes. He doesn't head down the driveway. He takes the trail that leads into the forest, the same trail you went walking on earlier. Your heart is I was in your cabin earlier, you asshole. Your heart is hammering. A sharp spike of adrenaline makes your hands tremble. Make a note of this entry number. You may need to return to it later. What time do you go to bed? Holy shit. No, I can't. Make a sanity roll. If you fail, lose one. I think I just lost one sanity. Made it. Okay. I can follow the stranger or close the door and make sure it's locked. Okay. Yeah, if only I'd gone for intimidate. I know. Okay. So follow him. Okay. Yeah. All right. Fine. My stealth is a 30. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. All right, we're going to follow him. You step out of the cabin. I mean, he's going to come back anyway, so, you know. You step out of the cabin and watch as the stranger strides down the forest trail. You follow him, crunching along the same stones you trod on earlier this morning. You can't help but feel like what you're doing is dangerous. Look, I've got a dagger. Just want to put that out there. Okay, but the story is warning me. It says to go back to the cabin and lock the doors, go to 120. To pursue him deeper into the forest, go to 141. What do we think, everybody? It's giving me an opportunity. The keeper is saying, "Are you sure you want to follow him? You're sure you want to do that? Because you know, maybe you don't want to do that." But I don't know. I mean, you know, when you play a horror game, you want to go down into the basement, right? You don't want to do the sensible thing. Okay. All right. I'm being told to do it. No, I'm being told to, okay. I've got 2 votes for doing it, 1 vote to go back. Okay. It's my brother's cabin. Well, that's true. All right. It's probably my brother. I'm going on. I'm doing it. You hurry after the stranger. You follow behind him through the woods. You're not far away, but he doesn't seem to pay attention to you. You can creep after the stranger or decide to follow him openly. To creep after him, make a stealth roll. If comfortable is checked, yes, hell yes it is. Make this roll with a bonus die. Fuck yeah, that's right. Comfort wins every time. Or I can openly follow him. No, I'm being sneaky, man. I am wearing my track pants and sweatshirt, and we are the wind. We are stealth personified. Here we go. My stealth, like I said, is a 30, and I roll 99. But I get a bonus die. A 59. Well, I could spend 29 points of luck. Or I can push the roll. You may roll a second time at the risk of being caught when you're too close to flee. This is an interesting rules question here. A little blind spot for me in the rules, and I don't have my rule book with me. If I push a roll where I was rolling with a bonus die, do I still roll with the bonus die? I think that makes sense because I'm still doing the same thing. It's not like the circumstances have changed. I'm still comfortable. I'm still wearing soft clothing that doesn't make a lot of noise. So I'm just going to make a table ruling here and say that I do get to keep the bonus die on the pushed roll. I know you can't spend luck on a pushed roll, but I do believe. Here, let's just see here. There was a little rule summary at the start here. Let's see here. See if it says anything about that. Pushing rolls. Okay. You cannot spend luck points to alter damage. Additionally, you cannot spend luck on a pushed roll. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Reattempt a failure at the risk of additional penalties. Okay. Yeah, no, we're keeping the bonus die, for God's sake. Okay. Yeah, and Kenny confirms. You still get your bonus or penalty die on a push roll. Okay, cool. All right, so here we go. A 97, great, wonderful. Or a 37, and I can't spend the fucking luck to make up that 7-point difference. We failed. I failed both my pushed rolls. You try your best to be quiet. You avoid the big sticks and stay low to the ground. Then you stub your toe, curse in pain, and fall forward onto your knees, wincing. The man turns around. He sees you. He stares in silence, and you stare back. For a moment, you consider calling out to explain yourself. Then the man charges. The words catch in your throat. He's really running for you, full pelt, his eyes unblinking, hands flat and cutting through the air as they pump in time with his legs. He's going to attack you. You stagger up and try to back away. Make a hard dex roll. Oh, now a hard success enters into the equation. All right, fine. You need to roll a 30 or less. A 14. That's right. Ha! Take that, creepy guy. Oh, God. Okay. You whip about and bolt back toward the cabin as fast as you can. You suck air in quick. Your lungs are on fire. You can barely hear the stranger's stomping footfalls just behind you over the sound of the blood pumping in your ears. You reach the clearing where the cabin stands and risk a glance over your shoulder. You see nothing. He's gone. All right. You make it into the cabin and slam the door shut. Once you're sure it's locked, you slide down the wall and sit, head cradled in your hands. You're shaking. That was awful. Utterly, unspeakably awful. Now what? What the heck are you meant to do? Seconds drag by, then minutes, then hours. You stay hidden in the cabin. You prowl through it, peeking outside every now and again, but there's no sign of your partner and no sign of danger either. You think about making a break for it out into the woods, but you know the stranger is probably just outside watching, waiting for you to try. You feel lost. Then suddenly the TV turns on. Maybe the power's back? To start turning on lights or inspect the television. Let's try the lights. You reach across to the bedside lamp and flick the switch. Nothing. You get out of bed and use the flashlight to find the light switch on the wall. Nothing. You cross the cabin and step into the bathroom. You flick that switch. Nothing. Nothing. Just the TV, tuned to the VCR, displaying slightly illuminated black. All right, we have to inspect the TV now. Another shower. Yeah. I know what I'll do. Screw the TV. I gotta heal more hit points and luck points. It's quiet. The VCR is purring. The TV is dim. Depending on your choices, you may return to this entry several times. Select an option you have not already chosen. All right, so I'll just mark that down there, number 186. If the quiet in the evening is checked, yeah, it is. Oh, God. You must go to 187. You produce the tape you found in the dilapidated shed. The title, written in black marker pen on the label, reads, "The Quiet in the Evening." You take the tape to the television set and sit on your knees to reach the VCR. All right, I can play the tape or change my mind. I'm playing the fucking tape. Let's do it. You insert the tape and press play. The screen flutters for a moment. Then the sounds of the forest come in. The tape looks to have been made with a handheld camcorder. The person recording is looking at a campfire. Flames are licking around a wet log. The sizzle and crack of wood merges with the rustle of surrounding leaves. After a few moments of this, you hear a voice. It's a man's voice with a strange sing-song tone that reminds you of adult presenters on kids' television. "It's so nice and quiet here at night," the voice says. You're pretty sure it belongs to whoever is holding the camera. "Alone with my thoughts, not a care in the world, I must say." The banality of this lonely self-talk creeps you out. The camera jolts to the left. It is now centered on the tree line, right on the edge of the light from the fire where the forest plunges into the darkness. "Hello," the man says. There is nothing but the quiet crackling of the fire. "Hello?" He stands up. He walks closer to the forest. "Is someone out there?" Faintly, somewhere in the dark, you hear the muted sound of shouting. "What did you say?" the cameraman calls. Again, the muted sounds of yelling. The cameraman stands staring into the dark for a few moments longer. Then, hastily, he turns the camera down, to face his boot-clad feet, strides back to his camp, and crawls into his tent. Panting, he quickly zips the entrance flap up. The tape ends. To rewind the tape and raise the volume to try and hear the muted voice, go to 189. Absolutely. You rewind the tape, watching as the images flash in reverse before you. You stop at the part where the man turns the camera toward the forest. You crank the volume to max. "Hello?" the man says. You hear a very quiet voice yelling out in the dark. "Hello?" He stands up. He walks closer to the forest. "Is someone out there?" Make a listen roll. All right, here we go. 60 or less. 39. All right. You strain your ears. The reply is faint, made in a haggard voice. "It's eating me." "What did you say?" the cameraman calls back. Again, the haggard, horrid, screaming voice replies, "It's eating me." The cameraman stands, staring into the dark for just a few moments longer. Then hastily he turns the camera down to face his boot-clad feet and strides back to his camp and crawls into his tent. You hear the distant voice call out one last time, "Help me! It's everywhere! I can't hit!" The tape ends. Make a sanity roll. That is a 25. Succeeded. You feel a cold knot in your stomach. You swallow against it. You eject the tape. You manage to hold yourself together, only just. Make a note of the entry number. You may need to return to it. Lose 1 sanity. All right, down to 58 sanity. Okay. 186. All right. So we are back to the VCR. This is so fucked up. Yes, it is. Okay. So I do not have the couple who came to the cabin. Oh God, that must have been the tape I ruined. To play the tape from last night, go to 208. To leave the tape alone, go to 223. Let's play the tape from last night and see if we get the same outcome. The tape from last night is still sitting in the little cabinet. Call it morbid curiosity or just a desire to understand what is going on, but you take up the tape and slide it into the VCR. You turn the volume all the way down. You don't want a repeat of the speaker blasting static from last night. You press play. The tape begins from where it left off the night before. Static, thunderous white noise, muted by your fingers on the volume dial. Then the tracking on the tape flickers, jagged white and silver lines horizontal across the tape. It looks like the tape had more footage to show when you turned it off last night. Check familiar face on the log sheet. Okay. To adjust the tracking on the tape using VCR controls, go to 222. Yeah, well, sure. That's what it's there for. You fiddle with the track buttons, watching the jagged silvery lines drift up and off the screen. They reveal the image of a man's face in close-up. He isn't looking at the camera. He's fiddling with something beneath it. You realize he is setting up a tripod. The camera is recording it. He bobs down out of frame, and you can hear him adjusting the tripod legs as the camera looks behind him, across a clearing with a campsite into the woods. Between the trees stands a tall, shadowy figure, pixelated, but humanoid and dark. Then it's hidden behind the guy who was fiddling with the tripod, smiling as he walks into the frame. He is wearing a fluorescent hunting jacket and a beanie. He stands back and looks at the camera, then smiles and turns to the clearing. He has set up a little campfire and tiny two-man tent. He squats by the fire, snapping sticks in half and tossing them into the flames while looking at the camera. His lips are moving. The thing you saw between the trees is no longer there. To adjust the volume so you can hear what he is saying, go to 210. To continue to watch with tape muted, go to 217. Well, of course, let's hear what the gentleman has to say. You turn the volume dial and his words become clear. And 5 days now, I think? He looks up and around at the pines on the edge of the clearing. It's beautiful. I'm expecting my friends any day now. The man stands up, looking down at the fire. Flames are keeping me warm, keeping me prepared. He turns to the camera again and gestures to his tent. It gets cold at night. I think soon, though, that won't matter. He moves to the tent and unzips it. He sticks his head and arms in and forages around for a few moments. He comes out of the tent holding a manila folder, the kind you see people store documents in at offices. He walks back to the camera and takes a seat in front of it. The frame is tight around his face. The figure looks directly down the lens, right at you. He says something, but it's too soft to hear. To rewind the tape and turn the volume up, turn to 213. Well, of course. You rewind the tape. You turn the volume up. It's uncomfortably loud. You press play. You see the man walk back toward the camera and take a seat in front of it. He's so close you can hear his breathing. He looks directly down the lens right at you. "This is the blessing of the child," he whispers. Now that he is up close, you notice something weird about his eyes. He has a little series of pustules sprouting around the rim of his eyelid, almost directly along the same spot where his eyelashes grow. They vary in size, but look sore, yellow, and wet. All right. Veterinarian is not checked. God, what the hell? The man holds up the folder and smiles. "Everything here, just as yesterday, everything I wrote down after that first dream." He puts the folder in his lap, out of sight, and looks down. You hear the folder open and papers rustle. "I'll read it again," he says. "Words that came to me in my sleep." He smiles at the camera, proud, and gestures to the clearing behind him. "This exact spot. I saw it every night. Every single night." He's giddy now. He looks down at his papers and begins to read. "It comes in the face of those it has taken, those it has brought into its fold. By the light of the sun it is hidden, clad in the skin of the familiar." He clears his throat, then continues. "By night it walks free, a student of the earth, a venom and cure of the forest. Drawing from deep in the soil, these black hills are its flesh today. Every tree is a hair. Its followers are those dictated by the rule of time. Mikhail, Homer, Olivia, Darcy." He pauses here and points excitedly to the paper. "That's me," he adds, then goes on reading. "Marcus, Charlie, Alex, Rachel, Isaac." Darcy pauses. He looks directly at the camera. "Charlie?" he asks. "Alex?" He leans in close to the camera. The entire screen now is just his eye, ridden with pustules. "Are you coming home?" The screen smashes to white noise and the room fills with crackling static. Make a sanity roll. I made it. You shove your fingers in your ears and smack the stop button on the VCR with your elbow. The cabin falls silent again. The television set sits there, glowing quietly. You remove your hands from your ears, but your heart is still thundering in your chest. His words. How did he know those names? How did he know you? Okay. It is Bigfoot, for fuck's sake. Oh, God. Okay. So, it's quiet. The VCR is purring. The TV is dim. All right. We're going to leave the TV alone. Thank God I made that sanity roll. You turn away from the television set and cross over to the bed. You sit down and try to avoid looking at it. You can hear it humming ever so softly. So I can head to sleep or step out onto the porch and look one last time for the return of my partner. Yeah, that doesn't sound too smart. Yeah, the pustules. Good God. What do we think? Should I step outside and look around, knowing that there's a madman in the woods who? Yeah, no porch. No. Okay, we're going to sleep. Okay. Oh boy. Right. I don't like these illustrations. Okay. You crawl under the covers without bothering to get changed. At least here it is warm. You set the flashlight by the side of the bed and switch it off. Then you curl up around your pillow, listening to the sound of the wind outside, and wait to fall asleep. All right, lockdown is not checked, so I sleep, perchance to dream. You wake. Damn it. You're not sure how long you were asleep, but it's cold. You sit up, and even in the darkness, you can see that the cabin door is wide open. You must not have locked it. Oh, Charlie does have ADHD. Never mind. You take the flashlight from the bedside table. God, you're an idiot. You swing your legs out of bed and stand up. You turn on the light to guide you to the open door. The flashlight lands on a man standing in the kitchen. He is haggard and breathing heavy, eyes wide. You almost drop your light in shock. What the hell? You gasp, half in anger, half in terror. The man doesn't answer. He screeches at the top of his lungs and lunges at you. Oh, God. The stranger is bigger than you. He is crazed, wild, and violent. He thrashes with empty hands at the air around him as he crosses the room in large, rapid strides, closing the distance. All right, so I can try and get out of his way or attack him as he approaches. Let's see. I will, what was my brawl? My brawl's a 55. It's not bad. I don't know. Kenny wants to puke. Yeah. All right. Dodge. Okay. Yeah, we're getting out of the way. All right. You weave sideways and try to slip out of the stranger's reach. Make a dodge roll. My dodge is a 30. I'm blowing every point of luck on this. If I come even within 47 points of this dodge roll, I'm spending it all, baby. 93. That's 63 points. I don't have enough luck for that. Oh, God. You try to duck out of the way, but one of the stranger's thick, meaty fists catches you in the jaw. You feel your teeth loosen and something at the back of your jaw crack. You tumble sideways. The stranger bellows in celebration. You steady yourself and see him approaching you again, fists flailing. He's in the pit. You realize with a start that during the scuffle, the two of you swap positions. You are now between him and the door. There's no way you're staying. You spin around and sprint away from the cabin, out into the woods. The stranger's howls of fury grow fainter as you vanish into the night. Make a note of the sentry number. You may need to return to it later. And take 1d4 damage. Ow. That's just a 1. Good. Felt worse than it was, obviously. All right. I can't push a dodge, sadly. All right. 298. You dash out into the night, running as far and fast as your body can manage. The cold air burns your lungs. The surrounding trees sound alien as they rustle, making you all the more terrified. Every few minutes, you emerge from the trees to a section of dirt road. You keep praying that you'll see your partner's car arriving, but deep in your soul, you know it won't come. Oh my God. After almost an hour of mad flight, you come to a crossroads. You recognize it from your journey up to the cabin. You're not sure which direction leads to the highway and which leads deeper into the woods. The forest feels inescapable. Make a navigate roll. Navigate of 20. A 13. Ha! Yes. You pick one pathway and follow it. Even after hurrying on for what feels like ages, you can't tell if you made the right call. The flashlight you carry is the only way you can see your surroundings. The only thing you can tell is that the forest is quieter here. Eventually, you start to tire. You're also getting seriously cold. You lean against a tree and catch your breath. It is well rested ticked. No, it is not. So instead, I go to 301. You try to catch your breath, but it doesn't seem to work. Your hand slides down to the base of the tree, and you collapse down against its roots. You suck air over and over. Your lungs feel icy. Despite the horrible situation you find yourself in, your eyelids feel heavy. You're not sure how long you wait, but it is some time until you feel as though you can get back to your feet. You stand slowly, teeter, but manage to forge on. Right now, you just need to put distance between yourself and the chaos you escaped from. When the sun rises, you'll be able to reassess and begin to find your way back to civilization. Make a note of the sentry number and take 1 point of damage. Oh boy. You know, so far I haven't needed to return to any of these previous entries. All right. Pine needles and dirt crunch under your feet as you walk. You make progress, but with every step you feel yourself growing wearier. You need to find somewhere to rest. Maybe some high ground would be good. Or should you look for a grotto? Anywhere sheltered would be best, right? Oh God, I'm so completely out of my element here. This is not good. Just as you spot a cluster of trees where it looks like you'll be able to rest and stay dry, you hear a faint hiss from behind you. What was it? Static? Was the sound static? Adrenaline surges through your system. Okay, so to investigate the sound, go to 303. To run like hell, go to 308. Yeah, we're gonna run like hell. No. You don't stop to think. You take off at a sprint and race into the forest. You resist the urge to call out for help because you know that none is coming. Ahead of you, moonlight just barely reveals a jagged pathway littered with sharp rocks and treacherous tree roots. You try your best to avoid them. All right, running on empty is not checked. Fully charged is checked. Okay, go to 323. Without light to guide your path, you'd almost certainly break your neck running over the uneven ground ahead. You silently thank your lucky stars that you stopped to add extra batteries to your flashlight. You dodge between the hazards and leave the sound of static behind you. Thank God. After a minute or so of mad dashing, you can hear nothing but the rustling of forest pines. Just as you're about to stop and catch your breath, you suddenly break through the trees and emerge blinking into a large moonlit clearing. Without the pine trees hiding the light, you can see much more clearly here. The clearing you've wandered into isn't very large, but somebody has still set up inside it. You see a small tent next to a dormant fire pit. Maybe you found help. All right, have I checked familiar face or wrong turn? I have checked familiar face. You recognize this campsite. Oh, God. I don't want to recognize this campsite. I really don't. A sense of deja vu washes over you. This campsite, it's the same one. You hear a rustling from inside the tent. Your noisy arrival clearly woke up whoever is inside. A sing-song voice calls out, "Hello!" Your stomach sinks. You recognize that voice. The tent flap unzips, and the same man steps out. He's even wearing the same clothes. He looks towards you, hesitates, then nods. You notice that his eyes show no sign of surprise. I can respond to the man politely or aggressively. All right, they've been waiting for me. Yes, indeed. Yep, same fire pit from the video. That's the very same one. Oh, God. Okay, so what do we think? Should I be polite or aggressive with this guy? I mean, personally, no point being aggressive. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's be polite. Hello, you call out. You struggle to keep terror or anger from creeping into your voice. The man approaches you. He's smiling. Don't worry, the man says and holds his hands up, empty palms turned towards you. It's okay, I'm your friend. His voice is small and falls eerily. His eyes are wide with excitement. You look around, but there's nothing in the clearing that gives you any new insight to what's going on. What's happening? You ask. You don't expect a real answer, but to your surprise, you get one. I'm someone who can hear it, the man says, then lowers his hands. Hear what? The child? What? The child of the forest. You've heard it too. I know you have. When it weeps, it sounds like static, you say. The man smiles. Yes, I knew it. You have heard it. You hesitate. All right. Right. If Alex is checked, if Charlie is checked. Okay, well, I may have forgotten to check Charlie at the beginning of the scenario, so we'll just assume that I checked that earlier, because those are my only two choices. If Charlie is checked, Charlie has indeed heard the static. Go to 285. I mean, he's talking to me, so. Charlie, he says. You freeze. How in the hell do you know my name? The child told me. It just wants a family, Charlie. That's what we can give it, all of us. The voice in the static, you ask? It wants a family? The child, yes. You may return to this entry several times. When you do, select an option you have not already chosen. All right. To ask what the child is, go to 337. Okay. To ask more about what the child wants, or I can ask how, I got all kinds of options. Ask how the stranger knows all this, to ask if he is the man you've seen around. When you have finished talking, select one of the following options. Tell the man he is talking nonsense, or ask him how you can leave safely. Okay, so we can ask him what the child is. We can ask more about what the child wants. Okay, we can ask how the stranger knows all of this. And we can ask if he is the man we've seen around. Well, I don't think he's the man we've seen around. Doesn't seem to match the description. Yeah, my marriage is failing anyway. No, it's true. Okay, ask what the child wants. Yeah, I think that's a good way to open up the negotiations, or go down in order. Yeah, well, let's go with what does the child want. We'll start there. You muster up your strength. Oh wait, I went to the wrong one. God damn it. 338. Okay, not 318. Muster up my strength to ask the question. The child, you say, it wants a family? The man nods. It's spent uncountable years alone. It sees past, present, and future. It has tried so desperately to adapt to the technology of our world, but has failed. It just wants people to be with it, here, in its home. He gestures around. All right. So that was that answer. Going back to 285. Yeah, let's ask what the child is. Yeah, we don't care about the man. That's right. You keep calling it a child, you say. What actually is it? The man smiles. Something ancient. I know, a strange name for one so old. I believe it was birthed from Mother Earth herself. It exists alone in the wild places of the world. It's lonely and aching. Okay. How does a stranger know all this? Good question. It is a burden, this knowledge, the man smiles. I came to this place years ago. I brought my camera. I wanted to document the wild, but I found something far more important to document, something beyond comprehension. I found that the child could somehow manipulate the magnetic particles in my videotapes to show me visions of the future. He smiles wide. And so far, they have all come to pass. The child exists beneath the earth, in the soil, in the trees, and in the pine needles at our feet. The power of the earth all around it lets it smell and taste and touch anyone who encounters it, whether they have already or not. What do you mean, you ask? It sees the future? For the child, there is only now, and now is everything all at once. It's why it was waiting for you, he says. In my time here, the child has shown me many things, all stored in my tapes. I have kept them and labeled them and tried to categorize them as best I could. So you're the guy who peed in all those jars. All right. Is he the man we've seen around? Well, might as well ask. I don't know. You are the guy I've seen around? He pauses, thinking, it may have been me, or rather, a version of me. What? I've given myself to the child, he says. I'm in its family now. If it wishes, the child can take my form. Indeed, the child takes many forms, those of his victims, past and future. Oh boy. All right. Is the man talking nonsense, or should we ask him how to leave safely? I mean, I'm going to ask him how to leave safely. I'm not expecting a rational response. How can I get out of here? The man furrows his brow. You mean leave? Yes, you say. I want to get out of here and go home. I never want to come back here, ever. The man shakes his head. I'm afraid it's too late for any of that. The child has chosen you. It awaited your arrival for so long. You shake your head. I don't care. I'm not staying. You turn and make to run just as a familiar voice rings out. Wait. Oh, God. Here we go. You spin around. There, standing on the edge of the clearing, is Alex. Their clothes are flaked with mud and dirt. There are twigs caught in their hair, but they're here. They're alive. They're smiling at you. Honey, they say. It's okay. I can run to Alex with open arms or hesitate. The pea jars were an offering, okay? True, good point. I feel like if I run to Alex with open arms, I'm going to immediately get torn limb from limb. So yes, let's hesitate. I hesitate. Because it can take on the form of victims, right? All right. All right. No. You race for the edge of the clearing. You can make it out of there if you're fast enough. You hear the warped sound of your partner's voice calling after you, but you don't turn back to look. Then you hear heavy slamming footsteps approaching fast. You can't help but look back for a moment. You see that your partner's body has warped and deformed. Their skin has split, and horrid dark branches burst from their flesh. Propelled by these disgusting long tendrils, they surge forward toward you. You turn back and race for the tree line. If you can just get there and break free, you can leave all this behind you. Oh, thank God. Make a dex roll. Made it. 360. All right. You run through the forest. You jump logs, duck under low-hanging branches, deftly avoid the moss-ridden stones. For a while, you hear sounds of pursuit, but terror, rage, and anguish pushes you to run for far longer than you ever have before. Eventually, the sounds of pursuit fade. You keep running, tears streaming down your face. You run for hours. You only stop when the sun rises. By the light of the new day, you find your way through the trees back to the main road. You walk haggard for hours. Sometime in the mid-afternoon, when the autumn sun is beginning to dip, you are picked up by a passing trucker. He stares at you curiously and asks repeatedly if you are all right. You never answer him. You ask to be dropped off in the center of town, but he drops you off at a police station. Doesn't matter. It'll do. You head inside. Days pass in a blur of hospital visits, police reports, and soul-sucking interviews with smiling psychologists who assure you they're only here to help. Search teams go into the Black Hills to try and find your partner. They don't find anyone, but you never really thought they would. They do eventually find your car. Even though it has your license plate, the searchers say it can't have been the same vehicle. It was rusted, covered in moss, and looked as though it had been abandoned in the forest for years. You find no reprieve, even in rest. When you sleep, you dream only of the forest, the lonely trees, the wet soil, and the endless night sky. But there's a strange budding warmth in your belly. Oh no! That makes everything seem fine. Oh God. Somewhere out there is screaming, a chanting, the wind that unsettles the trees. The breeze makes the pine needles dance across the forest floor. Then there's the static, a cacophony of sound running together, blending to create a long, all-encompassing drone. It fills your head, your very being. The static is all. Then, suddenly, the warmth within your stomach explodes. Your flesh tears, yet there's no pain nor blood. You watch in horror as the gnarled branches of some ancient tree emerge from your stomach, all while twisted roots encircle your bones, crushing and cracking them. You try to scream, but only static emerges. As the static fills you and everything around you, the last thing you are aware of is endless sea of stars above you, the cold stars, then darkness. The darkness lifts. The light of dawn brings you to wake. You don't recall how much time has passed. It might be years later, or could it be years earlier? Somewhere in the forgotten wild, you stir. You see the ancient forest around you. The pine needles feel like carpet on the ground. It's all warm and familiar. The wind flutters through the Black Hills to a place where no bears, rabbits, or birds ever tread. Trees shiver in the final moments of summer, and beneath the moist earth, you shift. Dead branches and fresh soil fall away from you as you emerge. Human again, you rise from the damp earth and breathe. You blink and hear the call of your master. The child awaits you. You have successfully completed the story and have been reborn to serve the child, as you will be again and again for all eternity. The end. Okay, well, there you go. That was one ending of Alone Against the Static. So what do we think, folks? That was pretty horrifying. And it makes me wonder, where did I go wrong? I feel like, maybe going out into the woods. Should I have stayed in the cabin? Ooh, was it because I forgot to lock the door? Gross, loved it. Super scary, yeah. Replay value, absolutely. Yeah, maybe we'll do this again next week. We'll play Alex, and we'll make some different decisions and see how it all pans out. The intro does indicate that there is a possibility to reach a happy ending. They're not all doomer endings. So yeah, I wonder if I had locked the door and the guy hadn't gotten in the cabin and I'd stayed in the cabin. Yeah, all of the Alone Against scenarios are great. Yeah, they are. So it was Alex's fault. Yeah, well, clearly Alex was totally into it. Absolutely. But yeah, we'll do a replay next week, and we'll play Alex and see how it pans out. I'm sure some things will be the same, and some things might be eerily different. Maybe the guy got into the cabin, put a seed in you while you slept. Yep, absolutely. There's ideas for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed in the back here we have a little additional resources. It actually has the stats for the thing, but I didn't want to look too closely because I don't want to be spoiled, but we'll just kind of take a cheeky glance here. Let's see. There we go. Ah, there it is. Okay. So, yeah, that's cool. You could incorporate it into your own games. Merging with the horrifying spirit of the ancient forest sounds kind of sweet, honestly. Yeah. Was it what you ate? Yeah, that could be too. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, because I was eating the food in the cabin. So that's another possibility. What the hell's up with Mark? Why is he sending me out here? Good job, Mark. Jeez, what a jerk. All right. Well, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that. It was about as good as I expected, which was I expected it to be very good. So I enjoyed that quite a bit. So yeah, thanks everybody for popping in, and we will do it again next week. Until then.